Let's go over adding sources and creating note cards on your Noodle Tools project. Let's go to step one. I'm sorry, I guess I'm going to have to hit that. I'm going to go over the PowerPoints and then keep this on Thursday's assignments so you can go back and reference it and also the full video. But if you don't want to listen to me again and you just want to review the slides, I'll let you do that too. So we're going to add 4 to 5 articles to the sources page in Noodle Tools. Well, I went. Okay. We are then going to, once we have all of our sources, so we need to have our 4 to 5 sources before we go on to note cards. And you're about to see why you have to have all of your sources first. So get all of your sources, and then you can go to the second step. Okay, let me get back up. So what I want you to do is when you are on your sources page, you can see I have 4. When you're on your sources page, look over to the left, and the stack of books would be your sources because they're magazines, web pages, all that. But now you have your sources, so you want to click on this 4 square icon, which means they are your note cards. So click on that. Once you click on that, it actually will look like this. It'll go to this screen, but that's fine. What you want to do is go over here and click on New Note Card. Okay, click on this, then it goes to that. It just automatically does that. And then you click on New Note Card. And you'll have to do this each time you create a new card. And you'll probably have around 20 to 25 cards. So you'll be an old hand at this by the time you're finished. Okay, now once you have clicked on a new card, you did that, this is going to open up. And there are several things that you have to fill in. So let's start over here with number 1. Give your note card a title. If I'm doing codifying Roe v. Wade, which is what I'm doing for this, just as an example, and it happened to be on the definition of what codifying means because I had no idea what that meant. Then I would put probably for my title definition. Now, I may have another definition one, so I may call this one definition number 1. Okay. That must be filled in, and that's important because later you can't, if you have them all the same under the same title, it will be very confusing as to how to organize them. So they all, even if you're putting a different number on it, then do that. Okay, then here, now that you have all your sources, I can go to this drop down menu and see all 4 of those that we saw on my source page. Now that's important because I need to know which one of those sources this card is coming from. Okay, now you go to that article and find, maybe I might find 3 or 4 sentences that give a really good definition of codifying. So I will copy that from the text in my source and I will paste it here and put it in quotation marks. Remember, because I'm using somebody else's words and this is a quotation and it says to put a quotation here, so I'll put that in quotation marks. All right, so put the title of the card, they'll all be different. Oh, you may have several definition ones, maybe definition 1, definition 2, and then choose the source from the drop down menu that this belongs to. Then go to the text, copy and paste this here, and put it in quotation marks. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Now we're going to go over here and go to number 4. And number 4 says, in your own words. That's where you will paraphrase the quotation from number 3. Remember, we did that in MindTap, uh, and we may need to go over those lessons again so that you can extract the important information and put the rest in your own words. Because that will show you, if you read the quote and you can put it in your own words, that shows that you can think critically and synthesize or mull over that information in your brain and then output it in your own words where you understand it. All right, so that goes there. So you'll go over here, then you'll put it in your own words. Don't use any of the same words unless they're technical words that are usually used. Okay? Then number 5, this is where you answer the question, so what? What does this mean to me? How does this apply to society or to me? Okay, so that's the original thinking. So if I'm talking about codifying, I'm going to either use this one or this one in my paper, not both. Either I'll use it, the quote, and I'll use fewer of these than I will these, but mainly I'll use it in my own words, so it has to be accurate. So I tell you what the definition of it is. So the question is, so what? Why do I need to know what codify means? What does it mean to me? How does this, how's this helping society? Well, when you start talking technically like that, I know I didn't know what it meant. I doubt very many people know what it meant. And you can't properly discuss anything unless you know what it means, right? You need to know the origin. So that's important. So I would say something to the effect that when this term codify came up after Roe v. Wade was how do you say it, nullified, many people did not know what it meant. And then you would say, and as the paper shows, it doesn't mean that you're throwing out everything the Supreme Court said. It's not saying that you're keeping all the things in Roe v. Wade, but there are certain things that are being kept that would be in women's best interests for their themselves and for their babies. Okay, so that's what the so what is. So you did all this. Why do I even need to know it? Okay, you need to explain that there. All right, then the last thing that some people forget and then they get all upset, I just don't know why, I'm kidding you, uh, is a good reason to be upset. They forget to go to click on save and close. See that red arrow goes to that blue button that says click on save and close. If you don't do that, you're going to lose everything you wrote. You don't want to do that. Okay, that's as far as I want to get on that today. Then once you have all of your cards, then I'll show you what you need to do with that. So, in fact, I'll probably show you tomorrow the next step. But this will at least get you to doing your 20 to 25 cards, probably just 20. Um, and remember, you'll also have to do a counter argument. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. So you will have 4 paragraphs in your body instead of the usual 3 that you probably learned in high school. So instead of having a 5-paragraph paper, you're going to have a 6. You're going to have your introduction, you're going to have your first supporting point, your second supporting point, then the counter argument, and then your third and strongest main point, because you want to end strong, and then your conclusion. So that's how this will be comprised, and I'm giving you some documentation on that as well. Okay, so again, if you don't want to watch this again, just pull up the PowerPoint and it will show you all of these. And if you have any questions, let me know.